Anthony Davis on Aaron Baines.
Ooh.
AD catching the lob and bodying Baines there.
Rachel, that's number 10?
That's number 10, Kendrick.
This must be a hell of a list.
Ooh,
That one was
gotta
pretty
be.
nice.
Right?
My God.
Woo.
That was pretty nice.
Number 9.
Ooh.
We got Kawhi. Look at this. Kawhi on Theus, but just didn't go. Oh, he's on Daniel Tice. I don't know. Reggie Theus is in my mind.
Oh.
West Street Reggie.
Celtics Clippers. Kawhi drives, punching it home.
Oh. That's just, I mean, he's so aggressive.
Woo.
The thing about Kawhi is I feel like he can do that whenever he wants. When he decides to get there,
Yes, he can.
he can dominate.
But part of the
completely.
magic is that he only decides in certain moments, and so far they've been good moments. Tsunami Poppy checking in at number 8 on JaVale McGee back at Staples. Watch Oubre.
That's what, see, he snuck JaVale. JaVale didn't think he was going to dunk that, and he just, you know
And then
what?
he gave that look at the end. Oh, yeah.
Oubre been
He
catching
knew
a
what
lot
he
of
had
bodies,
done.
though.
Did you see under the net after that? Watch him under the net.
He knew. He knew.
Oh.
Number 7, Jaylen Brown on LeBron James. By the way, when you're going over the king, 2 hands, ladies and gentlemen, 2 hands.
That was pretty impressive.
That was pretty nice.
I don't know, Rachel. I don't know if that was better than the number 10.
That's just
AD
the name
number.
brand, though. That's over LeBron. That's like Tatum a year or two
Yeah,
ago.
remember?
Oh, okay.
Remember when
That's
he was
what
a
that
rookie?
is.
Because it happened on Braun.
Yeah, come on.
But Jaylen Brown's one of my favorite players, so.
You'll take it. You'll take the positioning. Number 6, John Morant on Baines.
Ooh.
All right, and look, as Brian Windhorst would say, we don't shame people for playing defense, but maybe for getting dunked on. Ja getting him on a switch, though.
Yeah,
You cannot blame Aaron Baines on this one.
Nah, he's been having a rough year for us with dunk-ons, man. It's not right. Where's the help, though?
Ja is so good, though, guys.
He is.
We could do his makes and his misses, and that could be
That
its
would
own.
still be a top 10.
Yeah.
Number 5, Jared Allen on
Oh.
Mike Muscala. Take a look here. Now, Jared's normally the blocker, but no,
Oh.
he's the dunker. Ooh, full Statue of Liberty there.
That was off the drop step.
But
though.
again, full credit to Muscala for trying.
Nah, but
This-
that was off the drop step, man. That was one step and went up from the
Nice
dots.
pass, by the
But
way.
so many guys would be like, I'm not even taking that jump. I mean, credit to anybody. Baines has been in there a couple times. You're trying. I appreciate that.
Sekou Doumbouya over Tristan Thompson. Thompson trying to take the charge.
Oh,
Not going well for
Come on,
Tristan.
Double T.
that's the highlight of the season right there for the
Double T, come on
Pistons.
now. You know what? I played with Double T for 2 years, and he never tried to take a charge. That's what happens when you do stuff you don't normally do, Double T. Go up there and try to block you.
Getting a little desperate over there, what can I tell you? All right, LeBron on the other side of this countdown now
Uh-oh.
on Bielitz, Kings Lakers. LeBron can still get it done, friend.
Oh!
Sorry, Nemanja.
Oh!
That's
Rush
just-
King.
He didn't really even go. He was just like, okay, I'm going to stand here like this
Yeah.
because LeBron's barreling down.
Is he 35?
Oh, he is 35 years old.
Woo-woo.
LeBron, the fact that he can still get up and do that at times.
I'm jealous.
Kendrick, are you 35 yet?
Yeah, I am 35.
Can you do that?
Nah, I couldn't do that when I was 25, Rachel.
Derek Jones Jr., your slam dunk contest champ on Jonas Valanciunas. Take a look.
Oh!
A precursor. A precursor to what was coming.
I don't think we understand how hard that is. Catch off of one step and go up like
Be
that.
above the net and then
Yes.
go, oh.
And that's a big boy he
throwing it
went
down.
through. That was nasty.
Aaron Gordon might have won or should have won the dunk contest,
But
but
he
Derek
is
Jones Jr. is the best
athletic.
dunker in the league.
DeMar
to me.
DeRozan gets the number 1 spot on Chris Boucher. DeRozan back in Toronto. Punctuates it by packing it in over the youngster. Look at that. They had to hide their eyes. They had to hide their eyes.
Came down with a little wrestling move and pinned him to the ground.
How
That was
good?
nasty.
How good did that feel for DeMar DeRozan in that moment there? Like,
Yes.
hello.
I mean,
And then they look up and they say, well, we still have our
but
ring.
also,
So,
but also
that
the
banner up there. But good for DeMar for getting that at least.
Yes. I believe that if DeMar had been on that team, it's not like DeMar needed to leave for them to win a title. They needed to get Kawhi to win a title, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. Okay.
It's not as
Welcome back
Kawhi
to the
guy's pretty
show.
good, Rach.
Yes, I'm just saying. It was the addition, not the subtraction.
Right.
DeMar wasn't like a locker room cancer.
No,
I'm gonna
not at all.
Just get off my slippery slope while I'm still on it. Welcome to The Jump. There's no basketball being played out there. But come on, come in, hang out with us because there is drama surrounding the Bulls. As first reported by the Chicago Sun-Times, team president Michael Reinsdorf looking to change up the Gar-Pax duo in the front office. Gar Forman, John Paxson have been at the helm since 2009, and the process of reviewing potential candidates has reportedly already begun. Bulls fans, of course, guys, can recite lists, reams of complaints, but the latest, there was an uproar just earlier this month. Security started throwing people out who had Fire Gar-Pax on jerseys or shirts or something, which was considered sort of it's not a good look, and it was
Rach, we heard the chants on the show in Chicago.
Right. We're doing a show at All-Star Game in Chicago that, frankly, had nothing to do with the Chicago Bulls. And what did we hear? Fire Gar-Pax.
Wow.
To me, though, this is so much deeper than just Gar-Pax. And it's long past the point where there needs to be new voices. But so much of this, to me, is on Mike Reinsdorf, who's running the day-to-day show. I mean, he signed off on Jabari Parker getting $20 million. He signed off on Dwayne Wade getting 2 years for almost $50 million. He signed off on Jim Boylan being the coach. And he signed off on Jordan Bell's pick getting traded for $3.5 million. I mean, these are financial decisions for a team that's worth close to $4 billion at this point. And he's the guy who needs to hire somebody desperately and just get out of the way. You need to allow the basketball people to do their job. And Gar-Pax have had their run. They want to win very badly. Nobody's ever questioned that. They just haven't made a lot of very good decisions in the last few years. It's time for change. It's time to hire somebody who is going to have a fresh voice and new ideas on how to run that. And even more, Rach, having watched the way the Warriors operate the last year and a half and seen the money they spend on all areas of that team, not just on the floor, but in every aspect of that organization, and to know that the Bulls do not have that reputation around the league, and there are former players who are happy with the organization. There are a lot of former players who are not happy with the organization. To see those differences, this is a team that needs a image rehabilitation in the worst way. And in order to do that, you hire one person to have one voice, and you let that person do their work.
You know what? I'm going to give credit and say I credit the NBA for this, and this is why. The All-Star weekend was that epic that the Chicago Bulls were like, hold on, this was great for the city. You could feel the energy. We got to reevaluate this. We got to get basketball back to where it needs to be in this United Center and in the city of Chicago. So I'd give a lot of credit to All-Star Weekend because I think that pumped the blood, had the blood flowing, where they was like, hold on, we need to make a change here. We need to get things back on course.
Look, we already know what a good basketball city Chicago is, not just in terms of actual basketball city and the talent that it has produced, but then also when you had a dynasty there, you had the whole country feeling like they were America's team. It is a place people want to go and visit anyway, so people can come see the Bulls. It is a market that has, in some ways, a lot of the advantages of some of the coastal markets that we talk about. It really should be almost lumped in with them, despite geography, and yet they really haven't had their foot on the gas in that way. And I like those two guys personally, by the way. You don't have to be a bad person not to have been able to do a good enough job, and they've had a good enough run. That I certainly am curious to see who they bring in, and I hope it is someone. You've mentioned a couple names on this show before, Perk, guys who came out of Oklahoma City who could be really good. I just think that there are some elite basketball minds operating, and it would be great to get one of those.
Rach, the name to keep an eye on to me, Mark Bartelstein.
That's interesting.
He is well respected all throughout the league as an agent. He's based in the Chicago area.
Well, that would certainly be going the direction, the other direction, and that's the direction that the Knicks have gone in, the Warriors have gone in, the Lakers have gone in. They want an agent in there, and we'll see if they go that way. Coming up after the break. Good little news nugget there, Nick. We're going to talk about KG's new documentary. He touches on players going from high school to the pros. We are going to break that down. First, though, here's what the Jump recommends for today. How great is Zion's NBA ceiling? Does he have a ceiling? Is the ceiling the roof? Over on ESPN Plus, Kevin Pelton and Mike Schmitz are going to delve in. Go check it out. Welcome back to The Jump. That was a look at Kevin Garnett's new doc from Showtime coming later this year. There's more online The part online is a little too R-rated for ESPN, so we'll just say you can go see that yourself. Perk, your friend Kevin Garnett, of course, made the jump from high school to the NBA in 1995. Kobe Bryant did it the next year. Both Hall of Fame finalists. We expect them both to go in this fall. The NBA eligibility rules changed in 2006, created one and done. Adam Silver has said he wants to end that as early as 2022. The union is theoretically on board, but there's still a lot of things they're trying to work out. Perk, you were drafted right out of high school, 2003. What is your current stance on players going straight from high school to the NBA?
It needs to be a rule. It's just like any other career. If you're ready to do the job, it don't matter your age or whatever, you're ready to do the job. Nothing prepares you for the NBA like the NBA. College don't get you prepared. Oh, is that some Perk highlights right there? I didn't know y'all was gonna pull them up.
Look at young Perk.
But listen, nothing,
Young Perk.
nothing prepares you like the NBA, being in the NBA, because it gets you right. And you know, I just think if you're ready, hey, come on out. Because I know a kid right now. That's 15 years old, that's a sophomore by the name of Imani Bates. And if he wanted to declare for the draft this summer, he will be a lottery pick, hands down. So, you know, that one and done rule, I think is great for college, but it's not great for the player.
The league is in a much better place now to handle kids who come into the draft who may not make it right away because of the G League. And that was something that wasn't in place for you guys initially when everybody was coming in. It was kind of like, all right, you either make it in the league or you just go bye-bye. And some kids need that maturity. They need that period. They need that time to grow a little bit more into their bodies, into the lifestyle of the league. And I think the G League is allowing the NBA to feel more comfortable about making this a rule again, like Perk said. But it's time. When you talk to players, it's long past the point where they know the kids need to be able to come in right away from high school and make that decision for themselves.
I completely agree that the G League is going to change the game, really, for guys who can't quite think they can make it, can't quite make it. The NBA has also instituted over these recent years guys getting to be able to be evaluated by agents without and coaching staffs without having to give up their eligibility. So that has helped a little bit with guys being more realistic. Can I make it in the league? Can I not make it in the league? But I would say this. I do think if they get rid of one and done, and you guys know I'm no fan of the NCAA taking money that I think belongs to the players, I do think that the NBA needs to put in a pretty strict support structure. It can't just be, yeah, we have programs available. I don't think that will be enough. I think if you were coming straight from high school, I would like to see some sort of mandatory check-ins with a financial counselor, mandatory check-ins with a sports psychiatrist, right? Mandatory check-ins with someone who is going to make sure that life and that adjustment from being a kid. I mean, gosh, some of these high school seniors are 17, being a child. Going into the NBA, I sat down with Zion Williamson this week. He's the fourth youngest player in the NBA. He is 19.
Right.
And he did have that year of college at Duke to sort of be a stepping stone and prepare him for this adult world, but especially the high-profile players we're talking about, right? The guys who everyone would be so excited to come straight to high school. Everyone wants a piece of you, and it is much more than it was when Kevin Garnett came into the league. There's social media, there's a million blogs, there's a million people who could come up to you and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it for you, kid."
Right.
And I just would like to see the NBA take on, but the NBA takes on a lot of things out of the goodness of wanting people to succeed. I would like them to take that on and put in a mandatory structure in place to get them through that first year.
And Rachel, that's a great point because listen, I was a country kid from Beaumont, Texas. At the age of 18. And I was so excited, I drove to Boston. I didn't even know nothing about shipping a car. I drove 30 hours to Boston. And when I got to Boston, it was like, oh man, I'm in the apartment. Next thing I know, the laundry baskets is filling up. And I had to do a memory check that I didn't even know how to wash clothes.
Right.
Like, my grandparents was taking care of me at the time. I didn't even know how to wash clothes, so I was like, wow. Going to the grocery store, I'm thinking, let me get waters and food and snacks. No toilet paper, no paper towels. It's just the little things, you know, and then you're right. And not only the NBA, but the Players Association. I think we could all do a great job as former players as you know, having more structure and getting people in place to guide these young guys for success. Because I seen a lot of guys that came into the league and was one and done just because they didn't have the right guidance. And much credit to LeBron James, because one thing about him, people could say what they want, but he surrounded himself with a great group of guys that was not yes men. Randy, Rich Paul, and Mav, you know, hey, they'll sit down and argue with LeBron.
Yep.
I seen it. They will argue with and tell LeBron, hey, whatever, you can get mad, but that's what you need.
Yep.
You need people to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, you're right. The NBA Players Association, the NBA, they have great programs now. I would just like to see it extend beyond, hey, this is what we have available
Hire
to
some
you,
former players
with
to be
actual
able to
rules in
go
terms of
through it.
making sure that these guys go through their first, maybe even 2 years with these kinds of mandatory check-ins to make sure that everyone succeeds, which is what we want. All right, during All-Star Weekend, Kevin Garnett was also on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. If you have not checked that out on Showtime, you have to. It's so great every week. And Perk, this week, your name came up. Take a listen.
I had knew Perk. I had played against Perk. Perk and I used to play like, we used to bang. I mean, like really have issues with each other to where I had to ask people like, yo, you know, we coming over there. Perk gonna be okay? Cause man, you don't know. Like when we go at it, we really
About to fight.
Kendrick, who? Nobody. Nobody. I gave him 12 like real quick. I better get this nobody off me out here. Who you talking to? I ain't know nobody. What you want to do, man? You ain't said nothing. What you want to do? I'm ball mouth. You know what I'm saying? Take fine all day.
How accurate is his impression of you?
It's so accurate. I'm leaving this show. I'm driving down to the Valley. Ticket. I'm coming to see you. But you know what the crazy thing about it real quick is that KG and I hated each other when we played against each other. But it was like the first practice, we instantly clicked. And now we got a brotherhood that is like, it's crazy.
I mean, you are super close to this day. You see him all the time.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yes.
Hey, KG, I'm coming to the Valley, man. That's cap. You didn't give me 12 straight buckets. Don't be lying to the people now.
That will continue after the show. But still on the show coming up, the Rockets are making more roster moves. They are, really. They're going all in on small ball. We will discuss if they are legit title contenders. That's coming up next. First, though, here is another little outtake from my conversation with Dwayne Wade. This is amazing.
I think they have to start on a documentary part 2. Like, for example, you are reviving your rap career. And for people who don't know, you were in a very important seminal Chicago rap group when you were 9 years old, 10 years old, Real Fresh, I believe you and your friends called yourselves. And now you're gonna be featured on a Rick Ross track, right?
Yes.
That's legit. You are actually gonna be in a rap video.
So that Real Fresh group, that was a group that was put together by my father, because my father, as I talk about in the documentary, was like Joe Jackson. He was gonna make something out of one of these kids in his house. So I did have those chops when I was young. And then I got an opportunity in this last year. Sitting down with Rick Ross, we worked on a shoe collab with my shoe brand Li Ning, and he was like, yo, D, I want you to hop on the track with me. And I'm like, okay. And you know, we got—
Are you any good?
I don't know. I guess everybody gonna see when it comes out.
Does Dame Lillard have to be worried?
No.
Not good like that.
Not that. I'm not a real artist at all. I'm just, you know. I think what got me into it was, you know, watching all the footage of Kobe. Everything that Kobe did, and I seen a video he did with Brian McKnight. And for me, as someone who, you know, was a fan of his, I got a chance to see him in so many different facets of life by watching it. And I was like, you know what? I do want to do things that is out of the box, and things that people can laugh about later and talk about later and just have memories and moments. So.
And we're not going to laugh at you later. We're going to laugh at you right now.
Or that. Laugh at me now. I'm having fun.